Hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, and welcome back to the horror bar. So today's video we are looking at one of my latest dioramas. I finished this about a week ago. It was probably less than a week ago actually. There's a couple of things that I need to add to it. I'm probably going to add to that the next couple of days, and then I'll probably just do a little short video just to show the little bits that I've added to it. But this diorama, I did a video and saying that I'm looking for ideas to make my next diorama. I did get some suggestions. There was one in particular what I am definitely going to be doing, which is the American Werewolf in London diorama, but I'm just going to be waiting until I actually get the figures in hand, because I don't know what kind of diorama to make of that one yet for the actual figures, because it comes with two different head sculpts on both of the figures, and also it comes with a whole different body on one of them in particular. So I don't know which sort of scene I'm going to go for that one. So I decided to make something which is part of my childhood, basically growing up. Somewhat made a big impact on me when I first got it, and I really enjoyed it. And then I came addicted to the actual the game, basically, and the actual franchise of the game. So it is a game. It is based off a game, this diorama. We're going to have a look at it, so you can have a look at the front and not the back of it. So hopefully if you like this video, subscribe for us, hit the thumbs up as well while you're there, and we'll have a look at the front of it now. So let's get into it. So here is my latest diorama. Can anybody guess what it is? I think you probably got an idea in the back of your mind, and you're probably thinking, what is that scene from? Well, it is from Resident Evil 1. Now, growing up, this is one of my major favourite games. Yeah, this is one of my favourite games growing up. It was the first one that sort of introduced me to horror games, and it got me into more of my horror stuff that I'm into now. I did grow up obviously watching horror movies when I shouldn't have been really at that age, but this game really set me on a path of playing horror games. I was just hooked after playing this game. I played it a lot as well. I played it like repeatedly and repeatedly, I just constantly over and over again. But the good thing about this original first game is that you could play with two different characters, and you got two different sort of little extra scenes in the game. So you play basically like two different paths. You go through setting, the scenes are the same and everything, but set in different ways are different and everything. For what I remember anyway, pretty sure there's different setting scenes, I think, in the different versions you play the characters. My favourite character I always played as though was Jill. She was my favourite character to play because it was just easier because I think she could carry more stuff, and she used to have a lockpick as well, so it made it easier, the game. But getting back to this diorama, I really had a lot of fun making this diorama. Like I said, I wanted to tap into something from my childhood to make, and this sort of popped in my head. I thought, why don't I make another diorama from a game? Because I did make a diorama for a computer game, which was Silent Hill 2. Again, one of my favourite games as well growing up. And then I thought about making a Resident Evil diorama. There was two Pacific scenes I was actually going to be choosing from. It was this one, what I ended up obviously making, and the other one was the actual dog scene where you're walking down the hall, and there's windows at the side here, and there's a wall at the other side here, and you're walking down, and you get so far, and then boom, the dog jumps out the window and scares the shit out of you, basically. It's always make me jump anyway. Did first few times playing that game, then after that I got used to it. But yeah, I think it made a lot of people jump in that scene. So I was very tempted to make that. I was actually thinking to make two. I was going to actually make this scene this diorama scene, and then I was going to make the dog scene. But what I was thinking of doing, obviously I did not do it. I'm not going to do it because it'll take way too much space up on my shelf. But I was actually going to, even though technically it's sort of different, but I was going to actually put a doorway here and actually extend it and then do that scene here, the dog scene. And then you've got two basically iconic scenes, but again, like I said, it would take up a lot of space on the shelf. I mean, maybe later on down the line in the future, I might make that scene and then just put it together now and again, or just have it separate. I don't know. I am tempted to make that scene though, because it is a very iconic scene. Just like this one, this is the first scene you see in the game, is when you first come across a zombie. He comes through the doorway, which is at the front, like say about here, about around here in it. I was going to put a door in there, but then I decided not to. But yeah, he goes through the door, or she goes through the door, come on the corner, and you see the first zombie here with the body, where it's just eating the body. So yeah, so that is a very iconic scene to the game. It's one of the Pacific scenes what everyone remembers, is that scene and the dog scene. So again, maybe later on down the line I might make the dog scene, but I think for my next diorama I'm thinking about making something from the Resident Evil 2 game. But getting back to this one, I really enjoyed making this one. And the only thing I did not enjoy as much was making the actual flooring itself. It turned out looking absolutely awesome, the flooring, but it did take a long time because each individual piece was cut and put in and glued in. So it took a long time. It's not the biggest diorama, but it did take a long time to do because I had to stick each piece in, and then obviously this flooring goes a different direction, and then I had to paint it and weather it, and basically just fill in the little gaps in between the wood as well to make it look even better, which it does. There's obviously different colours to it as well, like in the game. Flooring is not all one colour. If it was all one colour, it would have been a lot easier, but it was individual different colours. You can't even see all the flooring, which is a shame, because obviously the couch and the rug, but I'm glad that I did it. It was just took a long time, and I did something what I don't usually do on these dioramas. I actually did all the flooring and did the wood and everything and painted it and weathered it and finished the flooring before I even started the walls, which I don't usually do that. I usually just get all the actual main pieces together and the size of it and putting it all together and everything to see how it all looks and how it's going to go. And then I start painting, and then I start doing like the flooring and everything like that when I've done all the sides of the walls and the actual couch and everything. But I didn't do it this time. I actually just did the flooring first because that took the longest. I wanted to get that out of the way because I knew I was not going to enjoy doing this flooring, which I did not enjoy, but I'm glad that I did it, as like I said. So this is all being handmade by me. This is all made by the foam. The only thing what is not made by me is the actual light itself. It does not light up or anything. It would be cool if it did, but this is just ordered off eBay. It's just for a dollhouse, but it works perfectly in the scene. Same for the rug as well. I did weather the rug up though and added a bit of blood to it there. This is also off eBay. But everything else I made myself. I made the couch and everything, and the pattern on it and everything was just basically just printed off paper, and then I just stuck it on and just weathered it and stuff. I used to weather this, I've done it quite a lot now, I've used it quite a lot, was just the what's it called, powdered paint. It was a black powdered paint I used to weather obviously this, because with it being paper you don't want to be using any the usual weathering stuff that I usually use is obviously black paint and a bit of water, because it'll ruin it. So I just used powdered paint, which works perfectly for that. I also printed the image off as well of like the another mansion, and then obviously you made the frame and everything myself. Same for this bit of the wall, which is a window. I printed off an image of like the moon and stuff, which is very difficult to see, but I did do it and I did add it to it. The window is just made of tin foil, so it's not a real mirror. It would have been nice if I could use a real mirror, but I would have had to get the right size or cut it and everything, and I didn't want to mess about doing that, so it was just easier just get a bit of tin foil and just use that as the mirror. But everything else is made of foam, and I made it myself. You can see the little plants as well, which is accurate to the game. So you got the plant there, and you got the plant in the far corner, which again is very difficult to see. I added obviously these little bits of extra of the wood to the bottom of the kickboards. Originally, when I first put this together and everything, I thought it was done, and then I looked back at pictures and I realised that I actually missed these bits off. Because they are in that scene of the actual game, so I needed to add it to make it look more accurate. And I added a little plaque just to say what it is, just in case anybody who comes into the horror bar don't recognise this scene, because not everyone has played Resident Evil 1, or might not even, or they might recognise it, but it might take them a while to figure out what it is. I can imagine it took a lot of people to figure out what this scene is, especially if they played the game a long time ago. Like I said, not everybody's played this game. It is a very old game now. It has been remastered a couple of times. But yeah, so I think it turned out looking really, really good. So if you just turn it on the side a bit to get a bit more light inside, you can see how the rug looks. I think it turned out looking really, really good. I really enjoyed making this one. I think I've already said that and probably just repeating myself, but I did enjoy making this one because, as I said, it's from my childhood, and I loved the game. It's such a classic game. It just changed the industry, the gaming industry, when this game came out. Well, when the first PlayStation came out, it just changed the full gaming industry. But yeah, absolutely love it. So figure wise, I've not got any of the figures for this. What I've done, and what I'm going to be doing anyway, which I'll probably upload on my shorts video, I'm going to be printing out a zombie and one of the characters. The only character I found, I have found pictures of Jill, but I found mainly Chris, because I found an image where you can see the front, the side and the back, and I've took the side image and I'm going to cut it out and probably stick it on this phone to make it look a bit more 3D-ish, if you know what I mean, so you can see it. There's a bit more depth to it, and I'll probably have him there just stood about here, so he's not too high, so he's about the right sort of size, and then have the zombie just stood in the middle there, where he's just basically ready to launch at Chris when he comes on the corner. It's not obviously going to be specific to that scene where the first come across the zombie and the body's laid on the floor, but what I can remember anyway, I think when you go back in there, or is that later on, I'm pretty sure the body disappears anyway and there's a zombie just stood there, unless that's like sort of the second time you play around, or as you play as a different character. For some reason that's in my head. I don't know if they might have did that in the remake and changed the layout a bit, because I know they did change the layout of this scene in the original. This is the scene, but when they remade this, they actually took the window away and they put a doorway there, what leads somewhere else, which is quite interesting. But yeah, so this is my Resident Evil diorama. So I hope you like this diorama, because I absolutely love it and I think it turned out looking absolutely awesome. Now, again, in the future, I know I'm going to make a Resident Evil 2 diorama, but I might actually make that scene with the dog scene with the windows and have it as sort of like an add-on to this diorama. So I would have to make a doorway so it looks like it's been separated, and then obviously it changes the layout and have it, so it'll be very big though to put on the shelf, but again, I don't have to display it like that. I can have it so it's optionable, so I'll just put magnets to the sides of it and have it stuck there when I want to, or maybe just then stick it on the top when I'm not using that scene. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully you like this video. Hit the thumbs up for us, please. Subscribe if you've not subscribed. Leave a comment as well and tell me what you think of this diorama, because I would really love to know your opinions on this diorama. I think it looks brilliant and I am really, really happy with it, so I'd just love to know everybody else's opinion, because it's hard to say, because obviously you might think it don't look as good, you might not think it don't look accurate, or I don't know. Just let me know and tell me what you think. So again, thanks for watching. Bye bye.